Hello everybody, it's Joe from JLD Games coming at you with another cool video. I'm back in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 in our theme park here. Just another time lapse, and I just get things started off here with adding some trees and planters around some of the rides in the mine themed area. It looks really good. Just to add a little bit more character and stuff to it, because I like completely spam trees and plants way too much probably. If we had to think about it, like I just spam them everywhere, so that's pretty much what I start off with, because I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the roller coaster a little bit, or the dark indoor roller coaster, just a little bit. I do work on it a little bit, just kind of the basic stuff to get some of it finished. I'm still trying to plan out a little bit of what I'm going to do on the indoor parts to make it look really cool. So it's been a while, since a long time since I've actually created a dark ride in this game, and they're kind of difficult. So especially if you don't know what you're doing. So the last time I created it was last time I created a dark ride was when I first discovered custom scenery and modding in the game. It was the first time I started modding the game. I was like, I'm gonna create a dark ride, and I believe it was like a Saw the Ride or something like that, because I was into the Saw movies back then. And then it was kind of they were actually making Saw the Ride at Thorpe Park, and that kind of inspired it a little bit. It was kind of like my own design. I made like 3 different ones of them, and they were actually pretty cool actually. And for me first learning about custom scenery and stuff, so pretty much I just go through the gardening sets and just spam out all these like planters and stuff like that, all these plants and different trees just around the Claw of Doom ride, which I do end up doing a lot too later in the video. So I just kind of wanted to start off getting a little bit more of the environment around the park, and it really helps create, just creating an environment for the park just makes it look that much better and more real in my eyes. So I just like to create just a lot of trees and plants and stuff around my stuff. I just love placing so many trees. I place a lot of trees and stuff. If you know my work, I do a lot of stuff like that. So I'm still not perfect at custom scenery and stuff, but I do like to try and do the best I can when it comes to environments and stuff like that. I definitely want to have a lot of areas where it's not just flat land, just kind of have some random terrain differences and stuff, but for the most part it's mostly going to probably be flat. For a lot of the terrain's going to be flat for most of the pathways and stuff. I want to create some cool bridges and stuff maybe later down the road and stuff, just to make it look cool. And then I decided to go over here and work on the dark ride just a little bit. I do want to always try and get some progress done. I just tried to work on part of the basic wall buildings and stuff. It's going to be a very basic building. It's not going to be anywhere close to being fancy or anything, so it's just going to mainly be this building. I'm going to add some outdoor parts that will make it look a little bit better, but it's going to be pretty basic. Because I'm using it on the inside, I don't want that battling texture with the the dark floor that I'm using and the inside part. So I might cover it up with maybe like a base piece or something like that, but we'll find out later. Which I already have a piece in mind, but I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. And then I experimented here mixing sets using Shy Guy's Alpine Village set. Their little cornerstones there. I really like those cornerstones a lot. I probably overuse them, to be honest. Go ahead and save there. And I could change it later, but I'm not sure. And then I just start going into supporting the ride just a little bit here, just kind of experimenting. And I was like, let's just use the steel jungle set and see what happens. So I end up using the steel jungle set here, using the black supports and the flanges and all that stuff, and this is pretty much me just trying to see how it would look overall. So I say, yeah, let's go ahead and go with that. Then I try to place a couple of these. I don't completely support much of the ride here. I just do a couple of them and see how they're gonna look, basically. Because this is the extended coaster that CTR that came out not too long ago, probably a couple months ago. that actually gives you a lot of amazing track pieces to make it look smoother and stuff. Which I was originally going to use this track for like an SNS launch coaster, but now it turned into my dark ride instead. So I'm still kind of wondering what I'm going to do, if I'm still going to have that launch coaster. I still think I'm going to have a launch coaster, just don't know where in the park. And I didn't originally plan on having it in the mine theme. I know that the mine theme was going to have a dark mine or dark ride or a mine train, or both in that matter. So I'm still thinking about maybe even adding some sort of water ride in this themed area as well. So I go back and go ahead and add the supports here on the little plugs, or the caps. That's what they were called. The caps that connect to the track. They don't always connect very well, which kind of bugs me. But unless you're really looking closely, you know, it's not as huge of a deal, because I mean, you can only do what you can here, and they don't look too bad here. I try to find the spots where they look, or the closest to the best, that way they don't go through the track too much, or if they're unaligned with the track. I don't really like that part of it, but sometimes you have to do it just to get that support there. Otherwise you just have an unsupported section of your track. So sometimes you got to go with it. And I was just kind of really confused here with the flanges, because it didn't look like the 4H1 or the 4 slanted one, or the H4 slant one didn't look like it went together. So I'll go ahead and just use the B&M footers here. They work pretty well, and I usually just always use those for my steel coasters anyways. So they worked out pretty well, and I think that's about all I did on the supporting of the roller coaster. Just a couple of them, just to get started. And then I was like, this pathway is way too bare, we need to add some stuff. So I'll go ahead and add some planters here with Shy Guy's planter set. I usually use that all the time. And I just pretty much cut out a little bit of the pathway and just put some curvy pathway bricks, and just raise the terrain up. It just is a very simple pathway filler. So you don't want to have like completely open pathways, obviously, otherwise it just looks so boring, because it's full of nothing. So I usually like to have put these planters in quite a few places. It usually fills it in pretty well to give you a little bit better look. And then to go with the theme, I went ahead and add like this little mine cart with its little charcoal stuff coming out. And then I just kind of add some planters and trees around it. And then I usually just go to spam out plants and stuff from the gardening set and stuff like that, and just get some trees in there, some plants in there, and it ends up looking really good. So just pretty much it's just lots of plants and stuff. Plants. You can never have too many plants in your park, and can't have too many flowers and trees and stuff, in my opinion. It just makes the park look better and more realistic, in my opinion. And then I had to get this red cedar tree in here because I just love that tree. It looks really good, and I found a spot for it, so it worked out pretty well. And then I decided to go ahead, seeing those rocks gave me an idea to go ahead and add some rocks, a couple of rocks in here, and it made it actually give it a really cool, unique look. Adding a couple rocks and stuff in there just added some more uniqueness and more cool, just overall realism part of it looked really nice. So then I decided to go over here and work on this flat ride over here, since it's still generic and doesn't have any custom scenery built in yet. So I go ahead and work on the queue line a little bit. I don't do too much to the queue line yet, just kind of the pathway and touch up on that later. And then I go ahead and fill all of that in with the path cover there. I actually kind of like this path cover. It's not too bad, and I forgot the name of it. I can't really see it right now because the time lapse and stuff. But then I go ahead and have the curvy, so it's not like a square. I don't really care for squares that much on my flat rides. So, and I go ahead and try and get the little control room for the operator to use. Trying to go as realistic as I can here. So you gotta have operators. Obviously, I'm not going to have an actual operator there, but I'm just going to have the control room, which will work out pretty well. And then, of course, I had to test it to make sure that they don't collide with the building here, which it didn't. So that's my one fear I had, was this actually colliding with the ride, and I always have that fear when I'm creating like the control room and stuff like that. So I was just kind of trying to create a mine theme type of control room because that's the area that we're at, and I just kind of tested out, and it worked out really well for us. So I didn't have any issues. So I go ahead and add the rest of it. Excuse me, gosh dang it, in here by adding the rest of the walls and stuff like that. And I just kind of like that little rotten effect that way the operator can actually see above him through the ceiling, and that was kind of cool because it also is a nice little theme to go with it too. Decided to add windows so you can monitor the queue line as well, and make sure no one's like crossing into the perimeter and stuff. I really think this stuff out sometimes, so working in a theme park myself. So, and then go ahead and add the controls, the control supplies and stuff like that, and I stopped right there at that moment until further notice, and might add a little bit more theming into that building later, but overall it turned out well. And then I decided to go ahead and got the idea of adding these large rocks around the ride just to give it a cooler effect, and I thought it actually turned out pretty well. I kind of overuse. I feel like I'm gonna overuse rocks. These rocks right here. I use the gazebo and rock sets for these, and I know there's a lot of rock sets out there that actually might even be better than this one, but I do enjoy this one. This one actually looks really good for what I want to accomplish. So the mossy rock set there is pretty good. And that's pretty much the main work that I did. I did hop on the ride just for a second there. I don't think I really do too much after that, except watch some of the rides go through and see how it's looking, and just being proud of my work. Like, oh my gosh, I'm excited. Can't wait till I get this finished type of stuff. And then I decided maybe I couldn't find a catwalk or anything for the top of the lift here. I was at least going to try and put one on the top of the lift, but I couldn't find one that actually fit. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy the episode. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. I will be getting more of this park out pretty soon, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow. Goodbye.